In the fall of 1898, George and Edith Vanderbilt arrived at the Biltmore Estate in Asheville, North Carolina. After a whirlwind courtship, a Parisian wedding, and a 4-month Italian honeymoon. More than 10 years earlier, George Vanderbilt first visited Asheville and began developing his creative vision for a 250-room French Renaissance Chateau in the Blue Ridge Mountains. The grand home, ultimately designed as a private retreat surrounded by captivating natural beauty, is said to have taken 6 years to complete with a workforce of more than 1,000 men. When the newlyweds arrived in 1898, the home had been officially open for nearly 3 years. But since the couple met and wed overseas, it was Edith's first time to the estate. Estate workers and their families lined the road, welcoming George and Edith home with a festive celebration that lasted long into the night, complete with a marching band and a shower of fireworks surrounding the mansion, as the Vanderbilts watched from a rooftop balcony. Yet for all the pomp and ceremony displayed during their grand arrival, historical accounts of George and Edith Vanderbilt paint the couple as thoughtful, fun-loving, and down-to-earth, kindred spirits who love to entertain and welcome friends and family to enjoy the solace of their mountain retreat. In the winter of 2009, I visited the Biltmore Estate for the first time with a small group of friends and fell in love with the design, architecture, and sweeping panoramic views of Pisgah National Forest. 2 weeks ago, though, I visited again with my mom and sister and experienced the natural beauty that comes with bright blue skies and the vibrant blossoms of late spring in the North Carolina mountains. Both visits were spectacular, but what captured my attention most during this trip was the thoughtful and intentional design of outdoor spaces. A sunset walk across one of the chateau's many covered terraces, and a long, self-guided stroll through acres of farmland and a formal garden paradise is enough to realize it took many years of deliberate design to develop such a creative masterpiece. To bring his dream to life, George Vanderbilt hired Frederick Olmsted, the man responsible for New York City's Central Park, the U.S. Capitol grounds in Washington, D.C., and the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, as well as many other high-profile projects. Olmsted is known as the founder of American landscape architecture and the first to use landscape architect as a professional title. He believed it was more than a craft. It was a work of art. In researching more of Olmsted's career, I found it fascinating that he's famous for co-designing many urban parks and believed natural beauty isn't just aesthetic, but necessary for public health. He and his business partners wanted to better the lives of city dwellers by introducing nature as an antidote to unsafe and unsanitary qualities of large cities. Their goal was for large parks to serve as the lungs of the city and help relieve stress and tension. Prior to his death in 1903, the grounds of Biltmore Estate were the crowning achievement of Olmsted's career. As I navigated the carefully cultivated landscape more than a century later, I felt profound gratitude for the preservation of nature. in a fast-moving world where life pulls us in so many directions, the beauty of God's creation still has the power to refresh and rejuvenate each one of us, no matter our position of wealth or status. And while I appreciate the vision of those who preserve and honor His handiwork, I'm most grateful for the God who gifted us with it from the start.